Hello, just back from my first Wildcamp and really enjoyed it, so we're back to look at my gear, although this is the start of the video now because it's the best way I can edit it, and I'll show you what I took camping with me. Now in retrospect I took a little too much and I could have done a bit better, however we'll go through it and see what we can sort out. And this is the kit I took, bar plastic water bottle which I screwed up and half a litre metal bottle as well. So the other confession I have to make about my Wildcamp is I didn't bring my Black Diamond Gizmo head torch. The one thing I wanted to test out while I was there with the Snugpak, and I forgot it. I got it out ready to carry it with me, and then I used my LED Lenser one on the trail because it's nice and bright and can light up the path, and then I couldn't find my other one, but of course it was at home on the side as I found out afterwards. Start with the rucksack. So I packed the Van Gogh Super Canyon 40+8 with a nice big plastic liner inside, just in case it got wet or anything like that. By the way, we have an observer for this. She's watching me do all this. Right, well, first of all, Snugpak Stratosphere Bivi, which was what I had gone out to test, and I'm very, very impressed with it. Really, really like it, and I'm going to have to buy myself one because this is borrowed currently. But now I've tried the Wildcamp, I could say I'm quite confident that I want to go again. Now, the pegs that come with it are very, very sturdy, very, very lightweight, and I couldn't really get them in the ground because I didn't have anything to hammer them in with, nothing solid enough to hammer them down. I tried using my feet and my shoe, but it didn't really work, so in the end I had to just leave them slightly in the ground, sort of only a third down into the ground. So the bivvy was pegged down, and I moved around quite a lot in the night, moved in my sleeping bag and my liner, twisted and turned, the sleeping mat moved underneath me, but the pegs still held the bivvy still, and that was really good. So you don't need to peg it down securely, the pegs can literally be used as posts because the hoops on the bag allow it to go through, which is quite nice. Right, the next thing is I have sleeping mat. This was a big, what's it called? Van Gogh Starlight SI, so it's one of those self-inflating, filled with foam roll mats with a little valve on the end that you open. Very, very comfortable, I discovered. It's alright, I've slept on it many times before, but even out on the rough ground last night with no ground sheet or anything, just the bivvy bag, it was really comfortable. My only criticism there is that it's big, as you can see. It takes up the whole length of the rucksack when it's inside, so that's a big chunk of it done. And I might have to invest in something smaller if I go out a few more times, just to keep it lightweight. So the sleeping bag I took was a Mountain Warehouse Traveller 50, just a very small, lightweight 650 gram bag, and that was nice, and it kept me warm, yet it was still comfortable. Of course I lined it with this nice cheap Eurahike cotton liner which I got for £5 on sale one day, so that's quite good. And here I had thermal trousers, thermal leggings, thermal top, hat, gloves and a buff, just in case it got a bit cold or I needed to cover up. Sometimes if I'm out and about and it's bright, I'll sleep with a buff to try and cover the light, which the moon was very bright, but actually I like that in the end, so I didn't have to do that. Also in here I kept my fleece. When I walked down there I wasn't wearing my fleece, that was wrapped up in here. However, I put my fleece on once I got there, so that was that. My Arc'teryx down jacket packs into this, and really I should have used this as a pillow, but instead I had the rucksack as a pillow and I laid the clothes out on top of it. Laid the jacket down on top of it, and of course it kept moving, so a few times in the night I had to wake up and adjust it, but it was worthwhile, and it packs down reasonably. Not ideal to walk with, obviously, big warm down jacket, especially in this sort of time of year in the UK, but nice. It was great to put on in the morning, well worth taking as a pillow, which I'll do next time, and I certainly think I'll just carry it on the outside of the bag, which is how I walked home with it hanging off this tag on the end. Bottle. Just in case the weather was bad and I didn't want to open the bivvy in the night, and that did say do not drink, waste only, so you can gather what that's for. Didn't use it, it's perfectly clean, however I've got it if I need it, which if the weather's good, to be fair, I won't need it because I get out. My jet oil, which was good, and oh yeah, just discovered I've still got the rubbish in there, so I'll take the rubbish out. Jet oil, I didn't take a rubbish bag, that's something I do need to take in future, but my only rubbish was coffee, tea and sugar sachets. Now I don't generally eat first thing in the morning, and I had dinner before I went, so I did myself a cup of tea before I went to sleep, and I woke up to a cup of coffee. I didn't need to take any food with me. If I was out walking in the hills or the mountains, which is what I plan to do next time I go to Scotland, I will have to take food, obviously, for a breakfast for the day ahead. It's just because I was only walking home 40 minutes, I could eat when I got home, which I did. So the jet boil with the gas inside it, obviously. It's got the diesel ignition, however I carry matches and the lighter in the bottom because they fit. Jet boil, spoon and fork, and a spork as well, because they all weigh nothing really together. Jet boil is bulky, but I like it, so I'm happy. Had a folding kneeling mat inside here. There's a bag my climbing harness came in, but the kneeling mat, just a foam one that folds in a Z shape. That was quite handy to use as a little table when I was preparing my tea and put things on while I was setting the bivvy up. It was also handy in the morning packing the bivvy away to not kneel on the sharp twigs and spines that were on the ground. This little tiny dry bag contains my recording gear, my camera and the camera accessories, just in a tiny little bag stowed away in the corner. It's nice, keeps it dry if everything gets wet. First aid kit, which has got all sorts of things in it that didn't come in it, but it is primarily a first aid kit with a knife and a pair of clippers on the side there. And I took the clippers off, so it's just a knife, which is a knife, nail file and scissors anyway, so we used as clippers, but handy little pack. I'll go through that one day. My little mini, I suppose you could call it survival kit, but sort of I call it really a sort of the first kit where I go to if I have a problem. Now, I never used to have anything like this, just had a first aid kit. However, I've been out and about in the hills and climbing, and even when I went to the Arctic, and certain emergencies or situations arise where there's things you need in a hurry, not bushcraft, life-threatening survival, let's say, just scenarios where you want something. So I can go through that another time, but got a little pen knife, whistle, fire starting block, some matches, some medi wipes, very basic stuff in here. Not really required, half of it, but let's just say it covers a few situations. Inflatable camping pillow I took with me. I didn't use because I used my down jacket on top of the bag, and this was from Poundland, and it's not too bad as something to put a fleece over and pad it out a little bit if you want to. Didn't use these, but some sort of waterproof workman's gloves, disposable type. Well, I say disposable, you can keep them for a while, but they're the ones, they're not fancy gloves from anywhere. About £1 from In Excess, I think. Waterproofs in a mesh bag, so waterproof jacket, waterproof trousers. Now, I would definitely change that in future, so that, oh dear, the Velcro's stuck to the... But I'd definitely change it in future and put it in a compression sack, because this is quite bulky. Whereas if I just put all my clothes in a compression sack, unless the weather's going to be bad, in which case I'll keep it in a dry bag near the outside so I can get to it if I need it. Microfiber bath towel. So this was in case it got wet and I needed to dry the bivvy bag out when I was packing it away, or any clothes or anything. And this is obviously a big one, big bath towel, because it's the only one I've got for now, but I plan on buying a smaller towel to take with me at some point. So I just took that with me, didn't need it, nothing got wet. Stick for recording. Now this, you'll find when you watch the videos, is a problem, because with my camera and the mount that goes on here, it allows it to rock side to side slightly. So when I was walking along with this on here, it looked fine. However, watching the footage, camera's rocking left and right ever so slightly. Really annoying when you watch it back, so I'm sorry about that. Sea to Summit folding cup. Now I've got the Sea to Summit pot set, which comes with the 2 bowls, the cup, and the big 2.8 litre pot, I think it is. But this cup is handy, stows away nicely, have it with my jet boil. Sadly, it's bigger than the jet boil, otherwise I'd have it inside. Holds a nice amount for a cup of tea. Victorinox Huntsman, I think it's the Huntsman multi sort of penknife thing. Keep that, which is handy just for a blade or a corkscrew. Yeah, I don't generally use it often, but it's there if I need it. Tiny little LED lens of P3, which is quite a little bright LED torch on a lanyard, and I clip that to my trousers just to keep them nearby. Little stuff sack here with some other bits and bobs in, which waterproof pouch, I think that was from Poundland. I think I put my phone in that if it got really wet and rainy, because before I've had problems with moisture ingress to the phone. Now thankfully the phone didn't get too bad damaged, but in my jacket the phone did get really damp, so keep that there. Little power bank, USB power bank, it's quite good. I'll get one charge on the phone on that, but really keep it for emergency use if I needed to make a phone call and it was draining the battery, or if someone else needed to. Some earplugs, because I wasn't sure if I'd need them camping. Now, the tree noise kept me awake, but I didn't really want earplugs in because I also don't like the fact that I can't hear anything. Oh yeah, a little case to put earplugs in. Binocular, I took that in case there was anything interesting to see. Didn't use it. Weighs absolutely nothing, packs down, so I don't mind carrying it. A couple of fishing night lights. I thought to myself, if for some reason I had to get up and leave the bivvy, I could break these and put them down with the bivvy, or on the way or something, so I could see. But really, they weigh nothing. They're not very big. I'll take those. Now, this I didn't need to take last night, but it's like a light-up LED glow stick with a torch on the end. Now, I carry this when I'm out in the mountains because if it gets dark or the conditions change, I tend to hang it from the rucksack and people I'm with can see me. And I chose red because red doesn't destroy your night vision the way that white light does. So that way you could hang it off the back and no one's going to have a problem seeing you, yet you're not going to be bright and lighting them up. Hand warmer pad. It's for Christmas a few years ago. Never used it, but it's there if I got it. Sleeping mask. Didn't wear it because I quite like the moonlight coming through. Dry bag. 2 or 3 litres. No, 3 or 4 litre dry bag I think, rolled up, just again in case it got wet and I needed to stow some things. Some cordage with a toggle on it. Again, I had no real purpose for that, just had it in case I needed it. And a tiny little face towel which I did use to sort of clean my face with some of my water last night. That was the little stuff sack it was in. The book I'm currently reading. I didn't read much of it in the end because I didn't like having the torch on. Lead Lenser P7.2, really bright torch, really powerful, sort of bulky and heavy, but a great trail torch. And seeing as I hadn't really recce'd the area I was going to, I wanted a nice bright torch, but I wouldn't generally take this out unless I was going to be walking somewhere I didn't know in the dark. I'd just take the P5, which is a smaller one out, a lot lighter and smaller. Camera work, I took this flexible, cheap and nasty sort of tripod thing that you could attach to trees and things if required. That was quite good. And obviously I've covered this, but my lead lenser head torch, it's the H5, which is far too bright. Again, at night it was really bright. So it would have been nice to have my new head torch, the black diamond one with the dimming, however, too stupid to take it. Here it is in a little bag to keep it sort of dry. And the other thing I can cover is woolly hat, a spare lanyard if I needed it for anything. But that is everything. And my, yeah, apart from digital camera. I clip that to my belt and I can take photos as and when I want. Hello, how are we doing? Good evening. I've set myself up for my first ever Wildcamp and out here in the woods. And when I arrived it was really dark and quite warm. However, I got set up in the dark, got everything out. It was really easy to set this bivvy bag up, the Snugpak Stratosphere. And then now I'm set up. The skies have cleared, the moon is out, and the temperature's plummeted. Now, I'm trying to keep my light off as much as possible because I'm not really supposed to be up here, I don't think. But yeah, it's quite good. I'm going to enjoy it. I've got a few things ready to go. I've got the jet boil here, and in the jet boil I'm going to do myself a cup of fruit tea, I think, foam, and yeah, my boots. Now, inside the bivvy bag, I managed to fit a 50 litre rucksack, or a 40 plus 8 litre should I say, and that's obviously got nothing in it now. I've got my clothes at the bottom by my feet, spare clothes, so hopefully that'll be okay, and yeah, I've got a book to read, so we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. So, I've been up here about an hour now, and I'm nice and warm inside the bivvy bag, and my sleeping bag, and a cotton liner. I've just got normal clothes on, no thermals or anything special, and the moon has come out, even more so, and I haven't needed to use a torch in a little while. I made my cup of tea, so you can't see anything. Made my cup of tea and set up for going to bed. Put everything in this bivvy bag. I think everything I brought with me is tucked away in this bivvy bag somewhere. Now I might regret that in the morning if it gets damp. I might really regret that. However, right now it seems to be quite spacious. I'm happy with that. I've even tucked the jet boil away down by my feet. Get it out of the way. I think I might read for a bit. we'll see. I don't really like having the light on now. I got used to the dark. Better without a light. You can see more, and it's quite pretty up here. So yeah, I think I might have a read and then see what I can go to sleep, or might stay as it is. Sit up for a bit, and yeah, just I don't know, watch the silhouettes of the trees for a bit. It's quite nice up here, relaxing. Right, hello. It's time for you to go to bed in a minute, I think. Go to sleep, and yeah, it's getting colder, but I'm nice in the bag. I'm nice and warm, and yeah, trees are making all sorts of noises, which is annoying, but yeah, I'll be used to it. I got the mosquito net open. I can see the sun and everything around. It's quite nice. However, the noises aren't. They're getting frustrated. So yeah, we'll see how I get on in the night. And my sleeping mat's a basic Van Gogh self-inflating mat. Massive, difficult to carry, but quite comfy so far. We'll see how it is in the morning. Night. Good morning. How are we doing? Woken up to this morning. It's a lovely morning, and I slept really well last night. Well, once the trees stopped, the wind died down, the trees stopped making so much noise. I slept really well, and I got hot and cold several times. I was going from hot and a bit sweaty, obviously, then you get cold again and get warm again, but for now I'm up. I've got a down jacket and a hat on, keep myself cosy. Bivi bag performed well. There's no moisture or condensation on the inside, and the outside's dry. The trees have all fallen on it, but it's dry, which is nice. So I'll make myself a cup of tea in a minute and see what I can do. But yeah, my first ever experience at bivvying out, and I'm impressed. It was good. The only thing is I need to pack less, because if it was raining then it would be a nightmare to manage. So yeah, no, I enjoyed last night. A good night's sleep as well, which was good. And get home and I haven't been out too long, which is nice. So yeah, but the Snugpak Stratosphere is certainly something I'd recommend. Really good bag, sort of tent bag, really, I suppose. Yeah. Big rucksack. Got my shoes in here with me. The book. Some other bits. I left my water bottle outside with the cup. Oh yeah, see, some sort of bug climbing on it, but I left that outside. And this lot was in the tent with me as well, kicking around. So, or the bag with me. I got some spare clothes at the bottom of the bag. Well, I say spare clothes, they're my waterproofs, my gloves and things as well, I think. So, at risk it might have got wet, but good enough. Yeah, so it's my first ever Wildcamp. I had a good night. Getting a cup of tea on the go. Ready for, yeah, for a cup of coffee actually. These packets of 2-in-1 and a packet of sugar. Make that up in a sec. In the jet boil. Yeah. I like jet boil. I know it's not the lightest of systems, but I like it, and I find it pretty good. Got the old pot adapter as well, so I can cook in a frying pan or something if I want, and as long as you stir it all up all the time, it's quite easy to cook with. You've just got to attend it the whole time, whereas if you had a bigger head on the stove, bigger gas burner, you could leave it unattended, I guess, and it wouldn't just turn it to a crisp inside. So yeah, I thought I had a very good spot here, and I thought it was out of the way and subtle because I arrived in the dark. However, at the end of that line of trees, a dog walker walked past and he gave me a very funny look. I thought, oh, he's off the path, but no, there's a path there. I just hadn't realised, so it was my fault. But it's difficult in the dark here because the paths aren't marked out as such. It's not so easy to tell where they are, and I think a lot of people take shortcuts and things anyway. So, but I'm down in a little dip, and it's pretty hard to sort of see where I am. So it's not too bad. I think it was more because I was sat here. I think if I was in the bag, I don't think you'd have noticed. But getting ready. Look forward to that. I'll show you where I am. So where that tree is running across there, that was where the path goes, down there and across, which in the dark I couldn't see. So what I've got is my setup here in the corner. So I'm kept out of the way, and yeah, I'm up against a little load of bushes and things. Wasn't a bad idea. The only problem was the trees above me made quite a lot of noise last night, mostly snapping twigs and wood, and in terms of the wind moving them around and not. Oh, there we go, got a good boil on. So right, I think I'll leave it at this until I've packed up and done leave no trace. So thank you. Bye. Right, I've managed to pack everything up. Leave no trace. It's the best ethos. Don't need everyone to let you know you were here. Plus, it's just nice to not leave a sign, isn't it? Especially in somewhere beautiful as this. So, it's my rucksack, Vango Super Canyon 40+8, which I think my wife had in her DV days a long time ago. So it's quite an old rucksack now. However, I got various different ones at home. Just this was most suited last night for today. A lot in there. A bit difficult to pack. I've still got my down jacket on, which is a mistake, so I might have to put that through the straps or something on the way home. Good timing. Looks like it's going to rain imminently, so if I pack up and walk home, it's going to take me about half an hour, 40 minutes I think to walk home. Which would be nice because it's the time. Yeah, nearly 9 o'clock in the morning, so I'd normally be stirring at home about now on a Saturday. So get up early, have a walk, get home, and then I can crack on with what needs to be done at home. Yeah. Another problem with sleeping here last night was that the local airport is just through the trees there and down the hill. But it's also a flight path over for aircraft travelling to other airfields, so it was a lot of aircraft noise last night. Takeoff was the worst when they were taking off. It was quite loud, but that's not really the antisocial hours. They're quite good hours. But the overflying aircraft were quite low, and they could be a bit annoying after a while, but only once the trees died down again. So yeah, I just finished my cup of coffee, which is cold now because it doesn't stay hot long, that sachet stuff, especially if I've made it into jet boil. And head off. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I might go through my kit when I get home. If I remember to, I'll open the kit bag out, show you what I got, and maybe you can give me some tips on how I can reduce what I got. Yeah. Thank you. So, I don't know what time of day it's allowed, but that's the other rude awakening I could have had. Live firing nearby, and yeah, I'm sure the sounds of gunshot in the morning would get you going, but thankfully, not yet. well, thanks for watching my video, and sorry about the audio quality at times last night, and the video, the picture, the brightness and the light shining in my face or not shining in my face are part of it. I'm still getting used to this video thing, and yeah, any tips, please get back to me, and I need to sort out some way to get a decent microphone, but this is my gear. I've got to put it all away in a minute, and thank you very much. I'll definitely go wild camping again sometime soon.